Hey, it's almost Thanksgiving, and I spent my previous weekend doing, I'm sure, what most of you did over the weekend, which was measuring the efficiency and capture rates of my residential in-room air purifiers. So right now I have a Blueair Pure 411 Plus and a Winix C545 at home that I got those. I think the Blueair I ordered online, and then the Winix, they had them on sale at Costco. So that was a few months ago, but I wanted to check the capture rates just to kind of parallel what I did with the Win desktop unit. So both of these units are CARB certified from the California Air Resources Board to not emit ozone, which is good. And they're also both certified to the AHAM, American or Association of Home Appliance Manufacturers, for clean air delivery rates. And I wanted to compare those two just out of curiosity. I live in a almost 100-year-old home, so rooms are pretty small. But the Winix has a clean air delivery rate of 243 CFM ish, and the Blueair is about 120, so a little bit lower airflow. But it's rated for a room size of half what the Winix is rated for. Winix is rated for like a 350 square foot room, and the Blueair is like 100 and 150, so smaller room size. But they're both really good air purifiers. Good filtration. The rates, as you'll see in this little video here, were a little bit higher for the Winix. It's marketed as a true HEPA filter, so you would expect that. It's got a 4-stage filtration. The 4th stage being the plasma wave, which is an ionization technology. But if you're not comfortable with that for whatever reason, you can turn it off on the unit. The Blueair the Blueair and the Winix both have a carbon filter and a pre-filter. So they each have pre-filter, they each have carbon filter, and they each have like a pleated filter on the inside. So the capture rates that I saw on the Winix were a little bit higher. They're both really good at capturing larger particles. The Winix was really good at capturing larger particles, like 100% capture rate, and then 98, 99, approaching 100% capture for even the smaller sizes down to 0.3 microns. So the Blueair still did good, but the capture rates were a little bit less efficient, 97, 98 on the higher particles, and 90, 91, 93 kind of percent on the smaller particle in range 1, which is 0.3 to 1 microns. So both good units. I like them both, and yeah, I'll show you what they look like here. All right, so first we're going to check out this Blueair 411 Plus. The pre-filter on this unit is actually just this kind of stretchy fabric deal here on the outside, so you can take it off and wash it like I did yesterday, which is why there's not dog hair all over it. You turn this thing on. It's pretty easy operation. You can just touch. It's got a couple different speeds, and the clean air comes out the top. I know it seems like maybe kind of a silly thing, but one of the things I really like about this unit is this little magnetic cord holder. So you can kind of position the electrical cord where you want, and then this will just stick through the fabric onto the unit. The filter on this little guy is actually accessed through the bottom, so you can see I flipped it over here, and it has these nice little tags on the sides. You can pull the filter out. The inside is this kind of activated carbon, and then down in there is the fan. Probably a little hard to see, but then plated filter on the exterior there. So that just goes back in, and then you just screw on the bottom, and it's all set up. So here you can see the acoustical performance of the Blueair. 58 decibels and 53 NC. This is on the lower speed, 45 NC and 56. So not too loud, good acoustics on this. And then I also took a picture here of our little particle generator. That's Artemis. All right, here's the Winix C545. This one came from Costco. I like this one quite a bit, actually, except for one feature, which is the air quality sensor light, because you cannot actually turn that off, which is why I have a piece of electrical tape over this one, because otherwise the little blue ambient light shining in the bedroom is not something I appreciate. This does have this plasma wave technology, and to turn that off if you want, because there is a true HEPA filter in here, they say, you can just hit these two buttons and hold, and then that light will eventually turn off and the plasma wave is off then. So turn it back on here. And yeah, the only other buttons, you can adjust the fan speed here, up, down, or leave it in auto mode based on that sensor. But I like the second speed, and then there's a Wi-Fi button for connection to your app. So, like I said, there's a bunch of filters here. This thing's also Energy Star certified, which I appreciate. You can pull off the front plate to get to the pre-filter here. And there's these two tabs, kind of release the pre-filter, and then back here, you got your carbon filter and your HEPA filter in the back. And that just all snaps back together. And this base plate just goes right back on here. Snap on. So it's a pretty cool little unit. As you might expect, since this is twice as large, it's a little bit louder, 63 dBA and 59 NC on the fast speed, but on the slower speed, it's quite a bit quieter at 38 NC and 45 dBA, so a nice amount of background. So here's what those lights look like on the top of the unit when they're not covered with electrical tape. So same buttons here. You can adjust the fan speed up, and here on high speed it's noticeably louder. On the quiet speed it's almost imperceptibly quiet, and then there's the kind of auto night mode where you can just kind of let it do its thing, and the lights do actually turn off, but then it'll, as you hear, slow down. So if you want it to be running at a certain speed, you actually have to, that light just stays on, which is blue now. It'll change to orange or red if the air quality decreases in the space. So that's it. You made it to the end of the video. I think I don't have any plans to buy any more air purifiers anytime soon. I like these ones quite a bit. But you never know. I said on Facebook that in any given year I could have spent a bunch of money on air purifiers, not necessarily just this year. So to be continued, probably, I'm sure.